Hello and good morning. Welcome to Coping with COVID with Dr. Marlo Archer. I'm a licensed psychologist in Tempe, Arizona. I saw patients in my office until a few weeks ago, and now I see patients online. I hope to one day go back to seeing patients in the office again. However, lots of people are enjoying online services, so who knows? Love to see my Aunt Sue here, who is writing a poem a day, which is inspiring. And we'll actually talk about art later today, so we'll cover that. You are here on this Facebook Live. This started out as a practice for me for how to learn Facebook Live. It has now turned into a 20-minute commercial for a different free thing that I'm learning how to use. I'm learning how to use Zoom to do groups like this that are interactive. And so if you'd like to join me, that's every Thursday until October, or until we all go back to work. You can register, you can participate live, or you can watch the recordings afterwards. But I will be reducing the Facebook Lives. I will not be having them on Thursdays. I'll be having the Zoom instead. And lots of you have actually already done that. It's really fun. Okay, as you know, this is still the introduction of a 20-minute, I'm going to take a breath because I can't remember my words right now. Hi, Jeannie. Whew. I'm still in the introduction of a 20-minute session about how to cope with COVID. I'm not necessarily an expert about how to cope with a pandemic, because I've never been in one before, but I am an expert in coping. I've lived through some crises, and I'm here to help you with that as well. We're going now to our second segment, and today that will be about routines. Whenever things are upended like this, it is very easy to get depressed, not just from all the horrible things that are happening, but human beings can get depressed if they get out of their regular routines. Now, obviously, our routines are quite disrupted, but there are some things that just really still need to stay in place and change. For instance, meal planning and grocery shopping. It's very different now with restaurants and takeout. We have to maybe do more planning and have more food at home, more dinners together. That's something that's routine that can help us, just stay in a routine. Thank you, Nati and Amy. We're talking about routines right now. Keeping your exercise routine, even if you can't do it the same way, that's really important. And if you don't have an exercise routine or you've lapsed from it, this is a great time to bring that exercise routine back in. Personal hygiene, we've been joking about that. People joke about, not taking showers. And, something I think about is that Americans, are kind of like hyper hygienic. And, not every culture or country believes in bathing as often as we do. So I'm just interested to see what changes over the course of COVID. If we become more like others or if others become more like us, I'll be interested. But you should keep up your personal hygiene with just, washing and brushing your teeth, those sorts of things to stay healthy. Keep yourself in routines as much as possible. Sleep as well, and rest, and having some playtime every day is also really good for you. Third section is on our Thursday co-creation Zoom video. People wanted to know what to do with extended family members who were not hysterical enough or too hysterical. So some people are like just totally freaking out, like the whole world is ending, and then some people are like, yeah, man, it's the flu, it's no big deal, I'm going to go play, a wrestling match with my friends. So, hi, Molly. Molly, I believe, is in Canada. I hope she's in Canada. Good to see you. And I would have seen her this week, so it's nice to see her here. We're talking in this third segment about how to handle relatives that are either like too hysterical or not hysterical enough. And that I just point to something that therapists refer to as the window of tolerance. It's sort of the area in which you can function. If you're like too freaked out, that's hyper arousal. And if you're, just way too chill, That's, comatose, that's hypoarousal. And staying in the window of tolerance is really important. And lots of us, are spending time on the extreme ends. We say, well, how do you stay in that middle? Well, that's some of the things that we've been practicing on these videos. Today I'll just mention grounding. Grounding is just a generic word for just getting yourself sort of back in your physical body and not, running around in your mind. So you can ground yourself by something simple like naming all the blue things in the room. And a meme that's going around, or a game that's going around Facebook now is, show us the red thing or the blue thing in your photo roll. That's a grounding technique. People are grounding naturally because they know that they're panicked. So good job, everyone. Fourth segment, I want to talk about the idea between sprinters and marathoners. Within the running community, it's not divided that cleanly, but there are some people, hi Dale, there are some people that are just sprinters. Like they can muster up all their energy at once and just give it. And they have a huge burst of energy. Then there are marathoners that can store energy and just use it slowly. Now we're going to need some of both of these kinds of folks during this crisis. We're going to need sprinters that can just, the sprinters have already jumped up. I mean, they've jumped up months ago. The sprinters have already been sprinting. We also need the marathoners to kick in and just kind of carry through. Now, the essential thing is that both sprinters and marathoners are athletes. They both train for their events, and they both rest and recover. A sprinter might run, maybe several events in a short amount of time. Hi, Debbie. We've got somebody beeping in as a trotter. I like that. I call myself a buff shuffler because although I marathon, it's not really running. Although we need both types, sprinters and marathoners, all of those need to rest in between. You can't just sprint and sprint and sprint and sprint and sprint, because then what? You have a heart attack and die. Also, after a marathon, you rest for a significant amount of time, not just like a day. Marathoners rest for like 2 weeks. That's probably why I prefer marathoning, but make sure that whether you're a sprinter or a trotter or a skipper or a walker, that you do whatever that is, but rest in between. That's, really important. Fifth section, I'm going now to, I think it was Oscar Wilde who said life imitates art, and then people argue art imitates life. I did not study philosophy, but I'm aware that Aristotle and Plato had differing opinions about imitation and what that meant. And then we've got the folks with The Secret and the Law of Attraction and manifesting, and would say whatever we create is going to manifest, or whatever we focus on is going to come in to us. And of course I don't know really, what the answer is, but I know that if I sit and create and consume horrifying images, horrifying stories, if that's what I do, and I just only do that, I am going to bring in, welcome, and expand horror. If I focus on creating and consuming beautiful things, my aunt challenged herself to write one poem a day in the month of April. And sure, some of them might have horrors in them, but overall she is doing none of them have. I'm just giving her permission, and she doesn't need my permission. I'm giving room for art that's beautiful, can have dark components, but anyways, that's not the point. Creating beautiful things for others to enjoy and for ourselves to enjoy is going to bring more joy and expand joy. And so if you have arts or activities that bring you joy, I highly recommend those over, just consuming all of the horror, all the pictures, all the videos, all the news, all that, and the vitriol that's out there. Or creating it, stop creating it too if you can help that. 6 is in, once, you can use art to express your feelings. All the sad love songs of unrequited love, and all the movies that make you cry, and even the commercials that make you cry, those all help us have a catharsis of our emotions. We hold in our body grief and sorrow and anger, and movies and art help us move that out, and that's good for us. So it's good to have a catharsis. So by all means, write a song or write a poem or do some art around your anger that you feel or your horror that you feel. But you can't just stop there. You can't just stop there with just this catharsis, just this puking out of emotions. You have to then create in your imagination an experience that feels so real that your central nervous system takes it in. So if you create a piece of art, a fantasy, just something in your mind, a daydream that's beautiful, and you imagine it with all of the richness that you can. In psychodrama, we call that surplus reality, and we just act it out. If you have a dream of going on I was going to say a luxury cruise, and I can't take it back now. So if you have a dream of going on a luxury cruise, and maybe that's not possible or even feasible, you can imagine it and just enjoy it in your imagination. And your central nervous system really doesn't know the difference. It really is going to feel like that experience is real. So create good things for yourself after you dump your, gross and ugly and awful emotions. All right, next topic is uncomfortable. It's called Everybody's Going to Get Recess, we just have to take turns. You remember, you don't remember this, this is my memory. I went to a very small elementary school, actually with Amy, who's on this call. Small elementary school that had 2 playgrounds. There was like a little kids playground and a big kids playground. And you just couldn't all, oh, hi, Mark. You just could not all go on the playground at the same time. You had to take turns. Hi, Michelle and Erica. So, one class would go out on the playground while the other class was inside. Then the next class would go out on the playground while this one is inside. Then this class would go on the playground while this one's inside. Okay, that's what we're really having to do now. It's like you can't all go to Costco at once. You can't all go hiking at once. You can't all go to church at once. It's just a way that things are right now. Now, the part that's bad about this is not only is it true that we can't do all the good things at the same time, but that everybody gets a turn, is that we can't all do the bad things at the same time, but also, hi Jennifer, everybody gets a turn. Is everyone going to get a turn getting the coronavirus? Lots of us are. Lots of us. We're not staying home so that we don't ever get the virus. We are staying home and taking turns getting sick so that there's enough room on the playground. The hospitals, there's enough room in the hospitals for each of us to have a turn, because this stuff makes us very, very sick. The people that get sick, which is going to be a large majority of us, they need sometimes hospital care. A small percentage needs the hospital care, but enough needs the hospital care that we have to take turns. And you don't know which one you are. Are you the one who is going to have mild symptoms? Are you the one that's going to have severe symptoms? Are you the one where this is going to be the last illness that you have? You don't know. You've never known any of that. So we're not staying home to avoid ever getting sick. We're staying home now, taking turns getting sick so that the hospitals can still function. 8, everything I ever needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. A famous essay by Robert Fulghum. It's well over 25 years old. Lots of people have read it already. I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but there are some parts that really apply to right now as well. Thank you. I got a compliment to my jewelry. Fantastic. Share everything. So keeping in mind sharing everything, this is actually a hand-me-down from one of my friends. My friends and I share jewelry. Play fair. do your best. If your family needs 6 cans of beans, take 6 cans of beans, not 9. Don't hit people. All of us therapists know that with all of you living in your houses with each other and your kids, like, domestic violence is going to be on the rise. So please remember, while you're trapped in your homes with people, do not hit anyone. Punch something soft like the cushions of your couch. Clean up your own mess. Say you're sorry when you hurt someone. We are going to hurt each other. Say you're sorry. Wash your hands before you eat. That's what it says in the essay. Now it's like wash your hands every minute of the day, all the time. Also says in the essay, live a balanced life. There are lots of other good things in that essay, more than I can mention, but one of them is that we do all die, and that's really in our face right now, but it's really always been true. The 9th section is focus on pride. Pride is one of those positive emotions, the 10 positive emotions. We're going to combine it with gratitude, which is a good characteristic of our personality as well as a good activity. So today I'm proud of something I did, and I'm grateful for that same thing. So something that I did today, you know what? I'm proud that I got fully dressed today. I put on matching jewelry and a shirt, which I'm pretty proud of that today. And I'm grateful that somebody noticed. What else? What have you done? What else have I done that I'm proud of, that I'm grateful for? The fact that you are taking care of yourself by connecting with another human being. Some of you on these Facebook Lives, you're my family and friends, and frankly, I think you're just looking at these to see my face and hear my voice, and I see your little face pop up, and that's fantastic. So I'm proud of myself for allowing myself this lovely experience. Hi to curly-haired Jamie, who probably doesn't want to be called curly-haired Jamie, but that's how I met her. And her hair is beautiful, by the way. I'm proud that I did not need to do my hair fully. It was back in a ponytail when I got ready to be on this, I want to say call, but I guess it's a video. I'm proud that I just left it in a ponytail. And I'll tell Jamie I did shower. I was telling her how long it had been since I had a shower, but I did shower. All right, so this is closing on the end of round 9. My aunt says I have good information. That's great. I'm glad that's the case as well. All right, so 10 is always integration, taking in, savoring what this last 10 or 20 minutes has been for me. I'm really aware that I do have good information. Not that I didn't know that already. You guys know, some of you, that I have a big ego sometimes. It's not that I didn't know I had good information, but the information that I have it's really applicable in any circumstance, including a pandemic. I'm taking in today the whole picture that this is a marathon that we are in. There's going to be sprinters who are going to get tired, and we're going to need to take care of them. There's going to be marathoners that kind of carry us through, but they'll get to a place where they're exhausted, and the sprinters will come back in. The trotters and the skippers and the singers and the dancers, all of us. It's going to take all of us to get through this. And every single one of us has skills and talents that we can use to get to the end of this. Whatever your skills and talents are, share them now with the world in whatever way. We've got nurses and doctors working 1 billion hours a day. Maybe you're not a doctor or nurse. That's fine. You do something. There's somebody, perhaps it's even just in your family, that needs you to just bring your talents. This is my talent. I can talk, I can speak extemporaneously. I've got notes, it's not fully extemporaneously, but it seems to be going over well, so I'll keep bringing it as long as I can. Thank you.